Salutations, my friends. Please enjoy this utterly unscripted, off the dome riff on what I contemplate to be 3 problems we have to solve for midlife women's weight loss, which is what I do. Hi, I'm Erin. I'm a nutritionist and a board certified health coach, and I specialize in weight loss for women who are in and around quote unquote midlife. We're not, unfortunately, in midlife. We are in the second half of our lives. It's fine. It's good. We still have decades ahead of us. It's all good. It's women in their late 40s, 50s, early 60s, kind of in that zone. And these are Generation X women. So that's my peer group. There's a whole lot to the Generation X relationship with food and body and metabolism and health and all this stuff. Now, here we are in quote unquote midlife. And me and my peers, we are struggling with a lot of things, including menopause transition. You're trying to launch adult children into the world. You're also taking care of aging and ailing parents. We've got a lot going on. But weight loss is the thing I work on with people like you. The 3 problems we have to solve for midlife weight loss is, first of all, weight gain. Number 2 is then weight loss. And number 3 is keeping it off. So let's break these down one at a time. Now, the origin of this completely unscripted riff is I had a call with a woman last week who booked a consultation with me. And I have a format that I follow for these consultations. If you book a call with me, it is a free conversation. It doesn't cost you anything. I'm very helpful. I care about the people that I speak to. If you're anywhere in the realm of who I like to work with, I really just like having talks with you about where you're at, what you want to achieve. Not everybody ends up working with me. In fact, to be quite frank with you, 70% of the women that I talk to don't end up working with me. Either I don't invite them into the program or they just don't want to do it. After all, they want to jump to some other thing. Totally fine. There's no sales pressure on this call. I'm not a salesperson. I'm simply a weight loss nutritionist. I just really like talking about this stuff. It is my life's work. So anywho, I had this call with a woman, and for whatever it's worth, she didn't sign up. But I just changed my language randomly at the beginning of the call because I have this little format that I follow. Basically, I'll say, we're here to talk about your weight and your struggles with weight. But in her case, I said, we're here to talk about your struggles with weight gain. Because she said when she booked the call, I've been gaining weight for the last 15 years and I can't seem to lose it. So I said, let's talk about your struggles with weight gain. And she said, oh, no, my struggle is weight loss. And I said, I don't think it is. It seems to me like your struggle's been weight gain. We got to figure out why that's happening. How come we've increased our pant sizes every year or 2 years or 2 pant sizes? How come we've gained 20 pounds since COVID? What is up with this weight gain? What's going on there biochemically and behaviorally? Something changed. What is that all about? What changed? Why are we gaining weight? Now we have this weight we have to lose. And your weight could have come on since COVID, or you could have been piling it on since your early to mid 30s, which is what I was doing. But I know women who I speak to who say, I've gained weight only the last 2 years. In actual exploration, the weight gain's been happening since they had their last kid 17 years ago, or since their wedding 25 years ago. Like, it's like, oh, actually, this has been climbing for 20 years. It just kind of reached a fever pitch in the last few years and you're noticing it now. But let's talk about why it was climbing, because that's the ultimate number 1 problem we have to solve. And I'm sorry to put that on you. I don't mean to put that on you to make you feel bad about yourself. Actually, this is a very empowering message. Like, hey, what can you do about this? I personally, maybe I'm a self-responsibility nerd, but I got this from a Tony Robbins event that I went to. I went to a Tony Robbins like one-day event. I didn't do the whole walking on coals thing. And I'm not even really sure how I feel about Tony Robbins. I don't know. He said one thing that just taken and run with it ever since I heard it. I'm paraphrasing. He said, there is such a difference between the phrase, oh, it's all my fault, and, oh, it's all my fault. Just that little change of energy, like, oh, I'm the problem. Oh, it's me. Oh, in that case, I can do something about it. Now, that's not blame. There's no blame in that energy. It's like, oh, wait, this is solvable because it's me. So something you're doing is causing weight gain. Is it the way you're eating? Is it the way you're living? Is it the way you're moving, sleeping, stressing? Is it hormone related to your menopause transition? Is it the way you think and feel and believe about food? Is it the food quality? You know, it could be things that are out of your control. It could be your socioeconomic status. I don't have the money to buy healthy food. I have to eat processed food. Like the thing is, like, it's not always solvable. I want to be really honest. Sometimes there are things that are out of our control, but it's like, but what is in my control? We can figure this out. I think it's all figure outable. That's my optimism coming through. So you can borrow my optimism. I just think no matter who you are, what you got going on, we can figure it out. But the first step is to say, what is in my control? What have I done here? And what can I change? Quite honestly, when I'm on the calls with prospective clients, If I do get a lot of victim language, like this is happening to me, I'm powerless, there's nothing I can do about it, my mom was fat, my aunt was fat, it's menopause, it's hormones. If that's how you believe, then I probably don't want to help you and I probably won't invite you into the program. But if you have a glimmer of like, look, I'm a badass, get stuff done gal, tell me what I need to do and I'll do it. If that's the kind of energy you bring in, then we got something here, because it's like, okay, the first thing you need to do is change the way you're eating and thinking and feeling and being about food so that you stop gaining weight. Something that you're doing is causing you to gain weight. If nothing changes, which is the sign that hangs over my shoulder on every single call that I do. Something that you're doing is causing you to gain weight. Let's stop doing that. Okay, my own example, I was gaining weight in my 30s because I was exercising way too much, which made me very, very hungry. So I was eating constantly all day long. I was snacking and justifying a lot of treat food behavior because I just did 2 hours of cardio. So I'm going to go have nachos and beer with my friends. Like, I wasn't sleeping. I had a job that I hated that stressed me out. There were so many factors that caused me to get fat and sick. I became pre-diabetic. And I was like, what can I do here? So I changed a lot of things, including quitting my job, which I admit is an extreme thing to do. But I was like, my health is actually really important to me. I don't want to feel this way 1 second longer. What can I do? I had to just be honest with myself. Like, what I'm doing is not working. What I'm doing is not only not working, it's actually setting me way back. It's making me miserable, fat, sad, sick. I got to change something. It's on me. When I work with clients, I'm simply a nutritionist, but I'm a weight loss nutritionist that focuses on food. I don't have any supplement regime for you. I don't have any blood testing or hair trace mineral analysis or friggin' poop tests you have to do. You don't have an exercise regime. It's food. Tell me how you're eating, when you're eating, what you're eating, why you're eating. Tell me how you think and feel about food. What do you think you should be doing? Let's talk about how that's not working for you. Maybe you need to adjust the way you think about food. This is what I do with people because it's not working. So we have to stop whatever you're doing that's not working. Once we've gotten that stopped, now we can chip away on weight loss. But you actually can't lose weight until you stop gaining weight. To me, that's so logical. So I go back to the conversation I had with this woman last week. I said, your problem is weight gain. She said, no, my problem is weight loss. It's like, I don't think so. When I work with clients, it's a 6-month engagement. The first step is we got to stop weight gain, and then we'll chip away at weight loss. But because we have this diet program, Gen X women, we are professional dieters. We were raised in the dieting culture, cardio and salads and gym memberships and lean cuisines, slim fast. That's us. That's our programming. We are professional dieters. That's why I get so freaking salty when the 27-year-old personal trainer is like, calorie deficit. I'm like, you sit down, Brayden. Okay, listen, you're speaking to the expert at calorie deficits. Go away, sir. So when I work with women, they'll come into the 6-month program and say in the first few weeks or month or 6 weeks or 8 weeks, why haven't I lost any weight yet? It's like, whoa, we're still working on the weight gain problem here. We still have to reorient how you eat and live and think and feel about food so you stop gaining. We're still on phase 1, stopping weight gain, the part that nobody's talking about, the part that honestly you overlooked, all of us overlooked. We only think, I'm getting fat, I need to lose weight. Not, I'm getting fat, I need to stop gaining weight and then start losing weight. We don't think about it in that logical order, but I'm asking you to think about it in a logical order because I know you're a logical person because you're like me. We're Gen X women. We're pragmatic, logical, thinking, feeling humans. We have one foot in the analog and one foot in the digital realm, right? We used to have to figure things out before we had Chatty G to tell us everything we need to know. We still remember how to figure things out. That's what we're doing here. We're figuring out why you've been gaining and then we can start losing. So in my 6-month program, I don't expect you're going to lose weight in the early days. We're still on phase 1, figuring out weight gain, trying to reorient your food behaviors and biochemistry, quite honestly, so that you can have a hope in hell of losing weight eventually. But diet programming tells you that you should lose 1 to 2 pounds per week. Who says? Who told you that? That's not real. That's not how fat loss works. I'm sorry that you were misled. You were. The dieting industry has to somehow sensationalize their outcomes. Otherwise, you're not going to buy it. And I know this because I don't have a sensational program. My program is unsensational. It's very much hard work for 6 months. You have to show up and be invested in it. I'm going to hold your hand. I'm with you every step of the way. But I'm not out here trying to sell you miracles. I don't have any flashy before and after pictures for you because I don't want you to be distracted by the nonsense. I just want you to come on in and GSD, get shit done. So, but you've been programmed into this dieting industry that suggests that it should be fast or linear or predictable in any way. That's not realistic at all. And if you thought about it for a few minutes, you'd be like, yeah, how on earth could anybody guarantee that me, an individual snowflake, that I'm going to lose 1 to 2 pounds per week? They don't know anything about me. They don't know what I'm dealing with. They don't know anything about my situation. Now, the thing is, this is going to sound discrepant to what I just said, but I actually think you could try anything and get a little bit of weight loss going. I have lots of peers who are right now selling their 6-week summer shred programs for $27. It's a PDF or it's a little app. They're going to give you your macros. They're going to give you a workout plan. They're going to tell you to buy a weighted vest and walk 15,000 steps a day. They're going to tell you everything that you already know to do. You could ask ChatGPT, how can I shred in 6 weeks? And it will tell you. In fact, I might just do that right now. Ooh, I can't ask ChatGPT for quick weight loss tips because my ChatGPT knows that I am just spiritually opposed to that. But anyway, the point is, you could try anything. You could try keto, you could try Ozempic, you could try fasting, you could try a 6-week summer shred, you could download a meal plan from ChatGPT and probably lose 5 or 6 pounds. But we haven't solved weight gain. And the third step, which I'm going to talk about in a second, we haven't factored any sustainability into the mix. So the 5 or 6 pounds, it's not real. You didn't really lose anything. Maybe it was water weight, maybe it was fat, maybe it was muscle. We don't really know. We're not being solutions oriented. We jump from plan to plan. I call it miracle hopping. Like you think 6 weeks is going to undo the weight gain you've been battling for 20 years, or even since COVID, if you believe that that's when you started gaining weight, which was 5 years ago. Are you sure a 6-week summer shred is going to do it for you? Are you sure just going on Ozempic for a few months is going to do it for you? Are you sure? Does that make sense? Judge Judy says, if it doesn't make sense, it's probably not true. And I believe Judge Judy. The point is, you could probably lose weight, but you're not going to keep it off because we haven't gone through this 3-step process and you can't really skip any step. So we have to solve for weight gain. Then we have to figure out weight loss, which I think you could do, and I can help you do that. I have a method for weight loss, but honestly, when I think about it now in these terms, it's really not a weight loss program. It's reversing weight gain. If we reverse weight gain and get into some weight loss, then we've created a plan that ideally is sustainable, which is what I want to talk about next. You can do anything for a little while. I believe in you. You're tough. You'll do it. You'll suck it up. I know that about you. And then get that quick outcome. I lost 6 pounds on the scale, or, my stomach looks a little flatter in my swimsuit. But have we actually patterned anything into your life that will make it sustainable? When I think of sustainable weight loss, I think about your life. I don't think about maintenance calories or reverse dieting, or I don't even have a maintenance plan in my program. Like, the thing is, when you graduate my 6-month program, you're done. We already did maintenance. We were doing maintenance the whole time. I don't have then a maintenance program that you go into. We had to build maintenance into the weight loss paradigm. And sustainability is not about getting really, really, really good at tracking your macros or getting really, 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 really good at mastering logging your food in an app. Sustainability is about, how do I go live my life with these food behaviors in play? How do I go back and live my life and engage with my life in my social connections, in my relationships, in my job, with my family, with my emotions, with the ups and downs, the vicissitudes of life? How do I do life without gaining all this weight back? If you did a crash diet of some kind, the 6-week summer shred, you might shred for the summer, but then, I don't know, it's fall. Now what? Now what are you going to do? Now the kids are back at school, or I don't know. Maybe your 20-year-old just moved back home because they couldn't hack it at college. Now they're going to live with you again. They have bills to pay and you got to help them. Like all this stuff that's going to come up, right? Trips, vacations, Thanksgiving is right around the corner, as much as it pains me to say that. Christmas, New Year's, another year of life, more aging, more menopause. It's all coming for you. Have we figured out how to deal with life? Life gets in the way is the number one reason why people say they failed on their diet. Life got in the way. Of course it did. I should hope it would. You're not just some thing that's supposed to diet until you die. You're living a life. When I do weight loss with clients, just to bring it back and be repetitive, we stop weight gain, we focus on weight loss. And while we're doing all of these things, you have to live your life while we're doing it. You're not going to put your life on hold to lose weight and then try to somehow get back into your life. No. We have to factor your life into the plan. While my clients are going off on vacation, they're having social outings, they're learning how to quote unquote fall off the wagon and get back on it. If you do that often enough and figure out how to solve it, then the wagon ceases to exist. Now you're just a person living their life, making food decisions in the moment, like a grown-ass adult. And because we've stopped weight gain and started weight loss, it's all flowing. And then you can carry on with your life and you've figured out how to eat to stop weight gain and start weight loss. And figuring out how to eat in the context of your life is maintenance phase, as far as I'm concerned. Any other maintenance plan is a joke. For example, let's say you did intentional calorie restriction fat loss. So you track your calories to get your baseline, then you would drop your calorie intake so you could lose weight. Now you do that for a period of time until you lose weight. Then you got to go into maintenance phase, which involves reverse dieting back up and then hitting your maintenance calories. Now you got to stay at your maintenance calories. Guess what? You still have to track everything a little bit. You're still tied to this calorie count, and you haven't really learned how to have an off day, how to have an off week. I think one day is easy enough. You figure that out. But like, what if you go to Mexico for a beach vacation? Life is going to get in the way. You've got to think about maintenance while you're losing weight. Am I going to be able to maintain what I'm doing right now? Is this maintainable? The 6-week summer shred, when it ends in the fall, you're done. I'm sure they have something else. I'm sure they have a fabulous fall feel-good plan. And then they have a wonderful winter, I don't know. I'm running out of alliteration, but I'm sure they have one for every season, and you pay $27 every season to jump into their next 6-week plan and just limp it along, limp it along. I don't think you're learning anything. I don't think you're sustaining anything. How many $27 are you going to go through before you realize, I'm not even invested in this anymore? From a behavioral perspective, I'm out. So we have to make some big change in your behavior patterns and your biochemistry. I think this is really important to talk about because we think about stopping weight gain, starting weight loss, and sustaining weight loss. There are biochemical and behavioral changes you need to make. We have to change the way your body uses fuel. We have to get your body to stop packing fuel away in storage, which is weight gain. We have to get your body to start losing weight, which is weight loss. That's the biochemical change that needs to happen because utilizing fuel, fat loss, is a biochemical process. And we have to change your behavior so that you can keep going. I think biochemical change is easier to make than behavior, which is why I think you could lose 5 or 6 pounds if you joined any old program or asked ChatGPT, how can I lose 6 pounds this summer? It would tell you, because the biochemistry is the easy part. It's the behavior that's the hard part. We have to do a lot of reprogramming, gals, because we have a lot of thinking about diets and how they're supposed to work and how we're supposed to feel and how stupidly bird-like we're supposed to eat. I bump into this with my clients all the time because in case you didn't know, I encourage women to eat robust meals. Like it's time to actually freaking eat. Like enough with these things that are demurely sipped off the spoon or out of the straw, like yogurts and shakes. Stop it. Eat real food. Eat real food. Sit down and eat a meal, for crying out loud. Stop snacking all day long. It's not working. So we're making big changes. And I have clients in the program who've been in it for 6 months who are still like, wait, what am I doing again? Because we were so deeply programmed into the other thing. Behavior change ends up being the hard part, not because you are some kind of defective human. You're not. It's all because of the programming. I really do absolve you of all responsibility and guilt. I do. And I will push back at anybody who says that it's your fault because they don't know you and I do. You can't say that to a Gen X woman. It's not our fault. We don't know what the hell we're doing because we've been in diet culture since we were born. I'm making big generalizations. I know a lot of you can relate to that. My mom for sure was on a diet for my whole childhood. And then when I grew up into a teenager and now I'm becoming aware that my body is important, a young woman in my 20s, a reproductive heyday, basically, all I know is dieting. I actually don't know really how to feed myself. All I know is that I'm supposed to shrink and eat less and take up less space. This is what ladies do. This is what women do. Somebody tells you that it's your fault, you're undisciplined, you're lazy, you lack consistency. They don't know you. And I don't want you to feel guilty or blamed, but I also don't want you to feel like a victim because you're not. You can absolutely take this bull by the horns. Just be realistic about it. When Tony Robbins said, it's all your fault, I was like, yeah. Oh my God, it is. When my doctor said, you have prediabetes, I wasn't like, well, I knew it because my mom has diabetes and it's my genetic. I didn't say that. I rejected the diagnosis. I was like, no. I'm going to learn why this happened to me and I'm just going to make steps to reverse it, reversing the thing that happened. I reversed prediabetes. You can reverse weight gain. We have to think of weight loss as reversing weight gain. What got you to your starting point? What happened to get you to start gaining weight every year for the last 5, 10, 15, 20 years? Why has your pant size been increasing? It's probably the way you're eating. Number one, the how much, the what, the when. You're not eating in a way that's supporting weight loss. You're eating in a way that's encouraging weight gain. What's up with that? It's mostly food. Lifestyle inputs like sleep and stress, movement to a certain extent, exercise, hormones. There's a list of things. But the good news is it's mostly food. The good news is it's all your fault. Okay, not really, but you know what I mean. I'm evoking Tony Robbins when I say that. The good news is you have some power in this relationship. You have a ton of power. You have all the power, quite frankly, as long as you believe you do. And if you don't believe you do, then that's cool too. Then we won't work together because I don't want to work with somebody who doesn't believe in this. I hope you believe there's something you can do. And I really hope it's not a $27 6-week summer shred, because come on, you've done enough of those already. What are you going to do? You're going to spend the rest of your life jumping to $27 meal plan, miracle hopping, like I call it? No, you got other things to do. You have a life to live. We have to solve weight gain in order to get weight loss, and we must factor your life in so that it's totally sustainable. And then you know what you get? You get your brain back. You get your mind share back. You get it all back. Because I just know that women my age have devoted so much mind share to food, body, weight, and it's unfortunately been a waste of a whole life. It's one of my greatest regrets in my life is that I wasted my teens and 20s and most of my 30s obsessing about that. Now, I got out early. I figured this out in my late 30s. And by the time I hit 40, I was cruising. Now I'm in my late 40s. It's like, phew, glad I did that. Still, one of my greatest regrets of life is the decades I spent dieting, the decades I spent exercising, the decades I spent abusing my body in the name of trying to be beautiful enough, which I never was. I know you can relate to that. You look back at pictures of you in your 20s and you're like, oh my gosh, I would give anything to look like that. But when I remember when this picture was taken, I hated how I looked. Exactly. What are we doing here? Are we going to keep doing that for the rest of our lives? Are you going to be an 87-year-old woman on a diet? No. So why don't we just solve this now? And to be solutions oriented, we have to reverse what got us here. The 3 things we have to solve are, number 1, weight gain. Why have you been gaining weight? Number 2, weight loss. How can you lose weight now that we've solved for number 1? And number 3, sustainability. How can we make sure this sticks in the context of a life well lived, ideally not on a diet?